Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 8th episode of the Closers Podcast. I am Marco Alvarado, your host, and today I am with a very special guest, Gavin, the G-Boy Stine. Hello, sir.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm enjoying some cold brew from Starbucks
Some
Coffee
cold brew?
Company. Some super smooth cold brew coffee.
Wow. How is it? Have you had any yet?
I took a sip and it's cold.
Is it a brew?
Well, I don't know. I mean, can you really brew? How do they make cold brew? Is it
I don't know.
My coworker says they put it in a sack. You put the coffee. You put it like a tea, in a big tea bag with coffee.
Yeah.
And then you put that in water.
Right.
You leave it in a fridge overnight. So it's like tea coffee.
What?
Yeah, but it's super strong. So if you just pour a cup of that stuff straight, it's like drinking fucking
That's hella weird.
poison or something. I don't know. Yeah, you have to dilute it. So they add water to it.
Huh.
I don't know. It's delicious though.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like cold brew is just a new fancy. It's like they're trying to come up with something different. It's coffee, but it's different. But in reality, if you just take hot coffee, and then
you can't let a cup of hot coffee get cold.
Why not?
Because you sip a cup of just regular coffee that's supposed to be hot.
Yeah.
You take a sip of it once it's cold. It's like drinking ass. It's horrible.
Well, yeah, but
cold brew.
Yeah.
It tastes like it's supposed to be cold. It doesn't taste like it's just coffee that got cold.
That's fucking weird, dude. I don't know. I feel like it would just be coffee that got cold if you just ice it and then it's
No, man. Because it's I don't know. I don't know what it is about it. It loses the the soul, I guess.
Huh.
I don't know.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Shit. Well, okay. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying your cold brew.
$5 well spent.
That is a very well spent purchase, I can imagine. Today, we're going to tell some stories because you and I have a very storied history over the past, from 2002 to 2019. That's 17 years.
17, going on 20 soon.
That's crazy.
A couple years, bro.
Yeah. So, for everyone out there who doesn't know me and Gavin personally, we have been best friends ever since 2002 when we were in kindergarten, and we've been best friends ever since. And I couldn't really think of any other thing to do with him to have him on talk about anything else other than just our experiences with each other and just how funny it's been growing up together, basically as brothers for the past 17 years. And we have so many different stories, a lot that we're not going to talk about.
Yeah, some we have to keep.
Some we can't say. But
we have some NDAs we can't violate.
Yeah, exactly. But we're going to share some stories today, and I'm really excited about it. So the first one I want to talk about, if I may, is the story of how you and I met. Because that story is super funny. It's very short, actually, but it's
simple.
It's very simple,
respectable, kind of cute. Almost,
it's very cute,
you know?
yeah, and it highlights just kind of how we are personality-wise, even to this day, maybe. I would say, to an extent, yes.
Yeah.
So it was the second day of kindergarten, and we were, on the playground in the elementary school, just fucking around. And I remember my mom, was with me while I was running around by myself, and she was like, "Marco, you don't have any friends?" She was like, "What? Did you make any friends yesterday? Who could you play with?" And I honestly didn't remember anyone else's name other than Gavin's name. And I just remember looking around for him, and I just saw him walk in. He's in the corner, next to this basketball hoop with his at the time stepdad. And I was I pointed to him, and it was just Gavin! I was like, Gavin! And he was freaking the fuck out.
What the? Who's this random kid, dude? And I spent all day the day before crying because I wanted to go home. And some kid, I thought you were trying to fight me or something. It scared me.
And I was just I just ran up and I was I forgot what we said. I said to you, I probably you want to go play over here or something. I don't remember. And then, do you remember?
I don't remember. I just remember talking a whole hell of a lot about Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh. We talked a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh. Dude.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, but that day, I don't know.
I remember we would talk about Yu-Gi-Oh, Star Wars, and Codename Kids Next Door.
Oh,
That's all we would talk about.
Oh, yeah. And everybody always wanted to be, God, what was his kid number one.
No, number one. The bald one? I never wanted to be that guy.
I wanted to be that guy all the time. me and that kid, fucking PJ or something.
Oh yeah, PJ.
We would always argue.
Yeah.
He tried to make me be the fat kid at the time.
Number 2?
Number 2, yeah. And I'm like, dude, I'm not number 2.
I always liked number 4, I think. The dude with the blonde kid with the bowl cut.
Oh, the dumb one?
I always liked him just because like I could relate to him because we had the same hairstyle. So
no one had my hairstyle, man.
What, the crew cut?
I was rocking the crew cut.
Well, there was a reason why no one had that.
Then I was rocking the flat top.
The flat top?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
It was sexy.
Oh my god. So yeah, that's how we met, and then ever since that day, we've just been really close friends, best friends ever since then. It's pretty funny. But I just remember like from that point, there was a lot of like random moments where like we just wouldn't talk.
No,
like,
yeah.
I remember like we would always consider ourselves to be best friends, but like for a whole year you moved to LA.
Yeah, that assumption never dropped that we were, but I was just like, I think it was like end of like second half of third grade through like first half first half of fourth grade I was gone.
Yeah.
And like that entire summer before that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was that was fucking weird. That was really weird. Had my first crush while I was there.
In LA?
Ever, yep.
Wow.
Yeah, it was
what was his name?
Screw you, dude. I don't remember the girl's name, but like I was like just imagine me in like camouflage cargo pants. I was a little pudgy. I was pudgy when I was little. And I would wear those long sleeve shirts, but it's designed to look like a short sleeve with a long sleeve under it.
Oh, yeah, I would wear those all the time.
Dude,
too.
I rocked those all the time, but then you look back and like those in jorts. You look back and it's like, dude, what
the John
was
Cena jean short,
Yeah, and so like the third day I walked up to her and was like, "Do you want to eat lunch with me?"
Really?
Yeah.
You did that?
Yeah.
Wow.
And
that's amazing. That's amazing.
Oh, it doesn't end amazing.
Oh.
She kind of looked at me. It was like, no. Like, exactly like that. She paused, and it was like she was nervous. Like, I might as well have walked up with a knife and been like, "Hey, you want to eat with me?" She was like, no, I don't. And,
you're like, "Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay. And then I just went and, like, at that school, I don't know why. They do this in Canada, too, apparently, I found out. But the milk was not in like a carton or like a bottle. It was in like a bag.
A bag?
A bag. So I got like, it's like a plastic bag. It kind of looks like it's like a pillow-shaped bag with milk in it.
Uh-huh.
So I went to the lunch line, got my little chicken sandwich and my little bag of chocolate milk. I was all sad. I went and sat on the swing, and I was trying to tear open the bag. I'm like, I couldn't get it. So eventually I was like, okay, fuck it, I'm going to bite this thing open. So I bit it, and the damn thing broke all over me.
Aww.
So I had to spend the rest of the day smelling like soggy milk, dude.
Ew.
Yeah. So that was my experience.
That's disgusting. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. That was your first crush? How old were you?
Crush.
You were like...
It was fourth grade.
Really? That was your first one?
Mm-hmm.
My first crush was second grade. I remember that.
I mean, I'm sure I had one before then, but that was the first one that I like, you know, like at a certain age, you have like those little silly crushes, and you don't really know how to identify that as a crush. That was the first one that I knew. I was like, oh, she's like cute, like whoa.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a hell of a kickoff for the romantic life, right? You know?
Yeah. I mean,
instant astral rejection. It's like, nope.
Yeah, it's like it's just foreshadowing everything. Fuck.
If I could go back in time, I'd be like, man, you're in for a long ride, kid.
God, if we're gonna go down that road, I might need to go get some wine, because that's a long and arduous journey through the depths of despair.
Maybe for the sequel. I don't know.
For the sequel, yeah, maybe. But let me think. I remember as we got older, the one thing that always stuck out to me was just when I would go to your house and hang out with you and your brothers.
Oh, Jesus.
And I never had I personally never had like a straight up just normal quote unquote sibling relationship because my older brother is like 12 years older than me, and my younger brother has autism and he likes to be alone, so he never liked to really be around me. Still doesn't like to be around me, but so I was always by myself. So I whenever I'd go to your house, it always became a thing of like, cool, I get to actually like hang out and kind of be part of this dynamic that I don't get to be a part of at home. And it was always really funny just to see how you guys interacted with each other. But in one way, it always stuck out to me because like at your house, like you guys would always just be fighting over like the food and stuff. And it was the funniest thing, just how Hunger Games-esque that was.
Dude, it's like my mom just came in because my mom was always working and my stepdad was a bumfuck loser.
Right.
So like he was always off doing his thing. So my mom would come in the house after like she got off work at like 7 a.m. She'd drop off all the groceries that she got on her way home. And then she'd go, fuck off and go to sleep.
Yeah.
Which I don't blame her for. I'd do the same thing.
Yeah.
So immediately it was like we all knew like if Garrett gets to those Chex Mix before I do, they're gonna be gone.
Yeah.
So what I would do, it actually resulted in a lot of physical violence between us because like I'd find out, like I'd ask my mom specifically for something, like, Mom, can you get those Cheetos, like the lime hot Cheetos?
Yeah.
And she'd get them for me, specifically for me.
Yeah. And
my little fucking brothers would always eat the damn Cheetos, and it just. Yeah, we were always fighting about it, and like whenever people were over and my brothers and I would fight, I'd get so embarrassed.
Really?
When I was younger, yeah, like I'd be so mad, and then as I got older, it became like a characteristic of me. So like I embraced it, and I was like, yeah man, let's just fuck with them, like let's do it, whatever.
Yeah. I remember like, especially, I don't know if you don't want to talk about this.
Oh God,
I understand, but just your birthday parties.
Oh, you mean how I got beat up at like every birthday party for like years?
By like your brother sometimes.
Yeah,
because you're the oldest. Just to give everybody context, you're the oldest brother
by a country mile.
Yeah,
but
yeah. And then second oldest, he just graduated high school. Congratulations, young Gare Bear. And then one's 16, and then you have a sister who's like 12, right? So just even back when you were like turning 14. And like your middle brother was like 8, you would still have to deal with like on your birthday getting like messed with by him or like by your guests and stuff. And if you don't want to talk about it, like I said, it's fine. It's just one of those things where it's such a key, like you said, characteristic of just of that time.
that era.
Yeah.
Honestly, I look back. For a number of years, it really bothered me.
Yeah.
But looking back at it now, I think it's freaking hilarious, dude. I think it's so funny. Like specifically the time when, what I used to like to do, I think this was like 8th grade or so.
Yeah.
No. 8th grade, don't even get into that one. I think it was 7th grade. Well, what I used to like to do is I would get a sock and I'd shove it full of other socks.
Oh God!
So at the end you have like a mace almost, and you can swing it. It's a flail. It's like a flail.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Swing it, and I would screw with my brother so much. Like my Graydon specifically, he'd be playing a game and he'd be so into it that he'd be like just in the zone.
Yeah.
So he would not know what's going on around him. I'd sneak up and I'd start like spinning it, like charging it, and then just wah. And it hit him in the side of the head, and it just made like this noise, super loud. And I would just do that I just screw with him. I just beat the crap out of him with those socks. Yeah. Well, somewhere along the way, I fucking showed you that trick.
Oh God! And
on one of my birthdays, I was doing it. I think I was doing it to Garrett or something.
Yeah, it was Garrett.
And then you like ripped it out of my hand, and then they went and got their own socks full of socks, and then I ended up getting. I don't know how we got from point A to point B, but I just remember I'm laying on the ground in my bathroom with my best friend and my 2 brothers just beating on me with these socks like freaking Gomer Pyle, and like,
look,
this is why I drink, folks.
Look, I witnessed little young Gare Bear. Okay, he was like doing nothing. I forget what he was doing. I think he was just like walking by, and we were talking, and you had one of the socks, and he just you hit him across the face with it so hard that the sock like stretched around his face
and hit him twice.
And hit him like twice on each eye.
I loved when that happened.
And he got so mad he started crying, but it was the type of cry where it wasn't like, I'm so fucking mad at you. It was like, why are you such a dick?
Why would you do
Why
this?
would you just hit me? And it broke my heart so badly that I had to put it in a different gear.
Yeah,
and like,
dude.
I had to rip it out of your hand, and I liberated Garrett that day. I took the weapon from the man, and I gave it to the people.
That's true.
And I let the people decide what to do.
You've always been a man of the people, man.
I tried to be the man of the people, but that was the only time I ever like really went.
Most of the time, I will be fair, folks. Most of the time, he did not participate. It was just that time I actually. I'm not gonna say I deserved that, but like maybe like a good whomping like once, but like I don't know, man. I don't know. It's pretty fucking funny.
No, it's hella funny. Looking back, it's hilarious.
Yeah.
But there was another time. Well, actually, since we're talking about like 7th grade, 6th grade, 8th grade, those fucking horrible years. Let's talk about also how we would do like WWE style wrestling matches with like Noah and Miller and all those boys, and like how I broke my nose. I don't know if you were there for the time that I broke my nose.
I was not there for that time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that time I think I was at my dad's or something.
Yeah. But I do remember there was one time, guys, and I'm going to tell you this about this guy. He has the heart of a champion. And one time, Gavin fought our friend Noah, who, if you don't know who Noah is, he's like, at the time, he was already like 6'1", and he was maybe like 7th grade, 6th grade.
It was 6th grade.
It was 6th grade.
It was like the summer of 6th grade.
Well, maybe he wasn't like 6'1". He was more like 5'10" at the time, but we were really short.
Regardless, he still had almost a foot on all of us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He was a big kid. And he was a champion, rightfully so. Nobody disputed that, but Gavin wanted to go up against him. So we were like, all right, go for it. And this guy, it was like a very painstaking thing to watch because Gavin got tossed around like a beanbag, just thrown around. Noah would just straight like Great Khali chop him in the neck, and Gavin would just fall. And I was the ref, and I'd be like, "Are you gonna give up? Like, is it over?" And he's like, "No." And he like gets up, and he runs at him, and Noah just throws him back down. It was just that the whole time. But he never gave up.
Well,
and you won.
Well, yes, because what happened was, somewhere along the way, I don't remember exactly what happened, but I think like Noah did something and he accidentally like smacked me in the face or something like that, and I knew that I was losing, but I didn't want to lose.
Yeah.
But I got furious. Like, do you remember I like was chasing him around the couch?
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like,
yeah, you started running.
And I feel like, you know, it hurts me to admit this.
Okay.
But he probably let me win because I would not have stopped. I would have kept running after him, even though, you know, because Noah's got a heart of gold.
Yeah.
If he had just used his full leverage against me and
like
if we were in our 20s, he would have just popped me, you know?
Oh yeah,
it'd
yeah,
be over.
yeah. If that happened today, yes.
Oh, it'd be done.
Yeah, there's
done.
no way.
But oh man, that was a crazy day.
I forget how you won. Was it because of decision?
No,
or did you win? I think it was.
It might have been. No, because I don't think we were doing decisions yet. We did decisions after Noah's next match. Which I don't know. Should we? I don't think we should name the guy.
Yeah, let's just come up with a different name. Craig.
Yeah.
Is Craig good?
That's a great name.
Okay.
But there's this guy Craig, and Noah had him twisted up in like a pretzel for like at least an hour. And we were begging him, just tap out, dude, please stop.
Yeah.
It was painful to watch.
Yeah, it was really bad. It was really bad. And he was like, "No, I'm never gonna give up." And we're like, "We've already seen this movie play out."
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So please just give up. And Eventually, like, the ref just called it off.
They're like, no.
It's like, it's done.
Yeah.
And Noah won, and he got so mad.
He was so mad.
He got so mad.
He didn't technically lose.
Yeah.
But he lost.
No, he lost.
You know.
No one really won. However, I must say, when I wrestled and I went up against Noah using my wrestling expertise,
you did some damage.
I got him.
Yeah.
I remember I beat him one time. I got him in a cradle, and I just straight got him in a cradle, tilted back, shoulders on the mat, over. It was done. And I remember that was a great moment. I became champion fair and square.
That was a shocking moment.
How,
I remember why I was fighting so hard against Noah. It wasn't just the championship belt. He had the Intercontinental Championship belt. That was, I don't know why, but it was and still is my favorite WWE title.
Really?
Yes. I mean, I don't watch it anymore, but it's just, I don't know what it is about it. It's just a cool belt.
It just, like, looks cool to you?
Yeah, it's elegant. You know, like, the WWE title was, like, back in the day, it was, like, diamonds and, like, it had a spinner. It was just kind of stupid looking.
Yeah, it looked really dumb.
It might have been World Heavyweight, because that one was cool, too.
Yeah. Did I have one of those? Did I have a World Heavyweight Championship? I don't think I did.
I don't know. No, you had ECW.
I had ECW, Intercontinental.
Intercontinental. You might have had the America one. No, I had the America
one. You had the America one. I had the WWE Championship with the spinner. I had that for sure. My cousin Monique, she had the other one.
Monique had belts?
Dude, my whole family was
That's
into
rad.
WWE.
That's rad.
Yeah, during that whole great unsung era of SmackDown when Undertaker and Edge were feuding.
Dude.
Really underrated storyline, which we always talk about, but for the people, they never hear us rant about it, so I guess we can rant about it for a little bit.
Yeah.
We were very much into WWE for our time, like 6th grade to like early 7th grade, I'd say.
I'd say it started 5th grade.
You're right. You're right. 5th grade.
Because that was the year that we were going to go to SummerSlam.
Yeah.
And that was actually the SummerSlam that it ended up happening.
Yeah.
That the crazy, like, where Undertaker took Edge to hell or something like that.
Yeah. That was insane, dude. It was so crazy. Just that whole storyline was so epic. It lasted for like a year, like 2 years.
Yeah, it was long, man.
But that was like the last great Undertaker storyline. Like after that, he just kind of was done. He became that one. Like he feuded with Shawn Michaels for WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And then after that, he just became kind of a 1-year pony. Like they would just bring him out for WrestleMania.
Which is weird because I forget when it was, but I looked at his age at some point. He was only like in his late 30s, early 40s. But I mean, he looked like he's like 60.
Yeah, so he looked a lot older.
I mean,
he put a lot of miles on him. On his fucking
he did.
Yeah, I just remember those times. Yeah, everybody was into wrestling at that time, dude. It was weird.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It was, but it's funny because now I talk to a lot of people that were kids around that time too, and a lot of them watched. Like a lot of people you wouldn't have expected to watch wrestling did.
Yeah.
It's weird, but
yeah,
I don't know. WWE is just not the same anymore.
No, it's not. Well, it's because you know what happened. The reason it became so popular among our generation at that time is because the
video games
were kick ass for like a solid 5-6 years.
Yeah.
And then after that point, but I don't know though, man. I would argue WWE is probably the most popular it's ever been right now.
Really? You think so?
I think so. But I think they're pandering to like younger kids. I think it's like a younger crowd, and then people that are like in their 30s that are like
grew up with like the Monday Night Wars.
Yeah, and then they've got like their kids now who are into it, and they're like, oh well, might as well.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. But yeah, a lot of our stories have to do with wrestling, and from that time, from that era.
Yeah,
a lot of them too have to just do with like
me being stupid, dude.
Yeah, I guess we could just go into middle school at that point.
Yeah.
If you want. Because there's a lot.
There's a lot of middle school to.
Okay, if we're going to get in middle school, if we get into middle school, I need some wine. So I'm going to take a quick break. You won't even know, but I'm going to go get some wine. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we have our wine.
Mm-hmm.
And we are ready to talk about middle school. Stories pertaining to that. Well, I'll let you go first. What's the first story that comes to mind from that horrific time.
When we met Travis. So, Travis is our mutual friend. He was like our best buddy from I'd say late seventh grade through like sophomore year.
Yeah,
you didn't really talk to him much in high school.
I didn't.
I hung out
with
him more in high school.
You hung out with him way more. I always considered him a friend.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did go off and kind of do my own thing in high school. You stayed more true to the clan, to the group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This guy, Travis, I fucking love the guy to death. Mm-hmm. But he was an asshole in middle school. So what happens is, I think Marco and I were like we'd sit in like these weird like planter area. Yeah. And Travis was with a guy who I guess I won't name because I don't talk to him anymore. I don't want to throw him out. But guy who was just a dick in elementary school. Hated him.
Oh, yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Travis was sitting, he was friends with him, and all of a sudden a Gatorade bottle just flies out of nowhere and lands at my feet. And I think I was standing at the time,
you were
actually.
by yourself.
Oh, that's what it was? Okay. I was like waiting for you or something, maybe. I don't know. But, or no, I was waiting for Eddie and them because you were talking with, what's her face over somewhere over yonder. So I would talk with other guys. So I was waiting for them, and then the Gatorade bottle lands in front of me. Yeah. And I see Travis sitting at one of the lunch tables. He's like, "Hey, pick that up, bitch." And I was like, "What? No, I'm not going to do it." He goes, "Yeah, pick it up, bitch." And I'm like, "Fuck you, dude. I'm not going to pick it up." He goes, "Yeah, you fucking are." And I kind of stared there for a second. Again, you have to remember, 7th grade, from like elementary school through 7th grade, I didn't understand like how to dress myself. So again, probably in like a short sleeve button up and like cargo pants with DC shoes on and just a horrible haircut.
And this was what year was this? 09. This was 09. 09. Okay.
And so I'm standing there and I'm thinking, I'm like, am I going to take a stand and stand up for myself and be like assertive? And then I fucking bent over, picked it up, and threw it in the trash. He goes, and Travis, I remember to this day, he goes, "Yeah, you're my bitch." And so that's my first introduction to him, right? Yeah. And then like literally a week later, you roll up with Travis, and I was like, God damn it, dude. I freaking hated him for like the first couple weeks.
I know you did.
He just bothered me because he was a dick and he was always mean to me. And then I think what happened was there was like a farm festival or something.
Oh, yeah. And FFA came from the high school.
Yeah, and you ended up going over with another group. So Travis and I were stuck together for like the entire thing. Yeah. And then by the end of it, we were like buddies. Yeah. I don't remember what we connected over. We probably made some horribly offensive, kind of perverted joke. No, it was the wrong area joke. Oh, yeah. That's what that was.
Was that the wrong area joke?
It was the wrong. That's where Travis and I kind of started to build our bridge.
Because I was there.
Yeah, you were there for wrong area.
For wrong area, but for that festival, that was different.
The festival was different. I think the festival was like when we finally were like, yeah, that's cool. But I think he stopped being as much of a dick to me because of the wrong area joke. Yeah. Because I wasn't being such a square anymore. Because I was kind of a square from like 6th grade to like
we all were
most of 7th grade.
A lot of kids, it took them a while to get out of that. Like
I didn't have that confidence, you know. I was very much like. You know, not to like hate on my upbringing or anything. Right. I was very much like my parents' kid. You know, I vocalized what they said and stuff. Yeah. And I hadn't really developed thoughts of my own. So like at that point in school, that's when I started to like have my own personality.
Yeah, exactly. And you found, especially like just how to socialize. It's just so different in elementary school than it is in high school because you're with the same kids. Yeah, in elementary school for like 6 hours a day, whereas in middle school, the pond opens up so much.
The pond opens up, and you're kind of hitting that age where you're kind of starting to actually develop a personality. You know,
yeah, exactly.
I mean, elementary school, everybody has, you have your little quirks, but like that, like you actually start to find yourself. Like the process begins in middle school. I'd say it doesn't end there.
No, it doesn't.
At all.
It won't end ever, really.
Yeah, I'm still going through that, but yeah, definitely that socialization, which I always had trouble with. Still do sometimes. You know, I get awkward, but like, that's definitely where that happened.
Yeah. Well, my side of the Travis story. So I forget what I was doing, but our middle school had these like spring fairs and fall fairs.
Yeah.
So every like the science teacher would have like a certain science teacher would have like a booth set up where you could like arm wrestle him, or they would like there was different games you could play, and you can like get tokens and then play the games, and there's like like cornhole, but just not an alcoholic type of game. Like there's all these different fair games you could play.
Carnival.
Yeah, it's like a carnival.
Yeah.
And all the kids get out of school early, and for an hour can go and run around and do carnival games and stuff. Get candy, eat candy. So I remember I was running around, I don't know with who. I think by myself. I think I was trying to look for Gavin, and I couldn't find him. And I didn't know really what to do. And I was just walking by myself around, and I was kind of like, feeling like, oh man, why? Like I'm such a loser walking around by myself. And then all of a sudden, this tall ass kid comes out of nowhere.
Spaghetti monster.
Yeah, just like walks up to me, and he's just like, hey, you want to hear something funny? I'm like, okay. He's like, so I just went to my doctor the other day, and he has Tourette's. I'm like, okay. I'm like, all right. He's like, yeah. He was trying to look in my ear, and he kept like shaking his hand. He's like, and he's like Indian, so he was like, I'm sorry, I have Tourette's, and like, it was really, okay. You have to think about it from the mind of a high schooler or a middle schooler. Those people, those kids, are really like offensive just at their core.
Oh my God, we were evil.
We were horrible people.
Yeah.
Most people were horrible people when they were in middle school. Doesn't matter what generation you're in.
I would say us especially, though.
Yeah.
Especially, like we like it was like a circle of just feeding off of that type of humor.
Yeah, it was really bad. But
I don't regret it.
I mean, sure.
Just at the age,
Yeah, it was just the age.
No.
But yeah, so like at that point, after he told me that, I just started laughing so much because I was like, dude, who is this guy walking up to me?
Just a random kid.
And he just starts telling me this like goofy story.
Yeah.
And so I just started laughing, and we hung out the rest of the day. And then randomly, the next day, I was like, hey, dude, like, come meet my friend Gavin, like, hang out with us. So he came over, and then Gavin's face, when he saw who I was bringing over to hang out, was like, what the fuck?
Dude, I was horrified.
Why?
I was horrified.
Yeah, and then there was, like, this whole big thing. Like, Travis started making fun of Gavin for listening to a certain type of music, which he didn't actually listen to. Like Gavin got, yeah. I'll just say it if that's okay.
I don't care.
So Travis started making fun of Gavin because he alleged that Gavin listened to gay porn music.
And he started shouting it.
Yeah, across the quad.
Yeah,
it was loud.
He read me like a book. The minute he saw me, he knew that I would react to that. And I was like, no, I don't. Shut up, Travis. Like, I got so mad.
And he so mad that Gavin left the group, and he walked across the quad and sat like under a tree.
Alone.
And we like followed him there, and we were like, dude, come on, man.
Dude.
Like, he's just joking.
I was so sensitive, man. I was like a little snowflake for a long time, dude. Yeah, that was, I forgot about that.
Yeah. I'll never forget that. That was hilarious. And then from that point, after we met Travis, just a rotating cast of just like dudes that really just, I hate to say it,
didn't have a clique.
Yeah, that
didn't really have a home.
Yeah, just didn't really fit in anywhere. Just like came around, hung out with us, and it was a good time.
Yeah,
that's really the only thing that made middle school bearable.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, for me, that continued through high school.
Yeah, exactly. That did,
and it was kind of the same guys too.
Yeah, they were.
And I think I one time I don't know how they'll feel about this, but one time I referred to our group as like the school's collective asshole. Like we were just all the assholes, and we all hung out together, and we're just assholes to each other, back and forth every single day at lunch. And there's anything that like I wasn't really close friends with any of the guys in the group, other than like Travis and you.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't even considered part of the group.
Yeah, you weren't. Yeah, because you had a different lunch.
Because I left. Yeah.
But like, I wasn't close friends with them, but I miss that so much now in college, because, like, you can't talk like that to people anymore.
Yeah.
Like, you can't just get a group of assholes together. Cause like
and just be assholes.
There's
together,
always the one guy who's like, come on guys, like let's bring it down, just chill, like let's not be mean to each other, man.
Yeah.
Like,
but I also feel like that's just part of maturing too.
Well, yes.
Because I talked to Travis recently.
He's a really nice guy.
Different guy.
He's a totally nice dude.
Different guy.
By the way, I gotta step back for a minute. I'd say that Travis is a dick. I mean, like back in the day. Travis is one of the sweetest people on earth nowadays.
Exactly. Everybody had their moments of being a fucking piece of shit before.
Oh yeah.
I've been there. Gavin's been there. Everyone's been there.
Yeah.
So when we talk about people, we're talking about them
Past
at the
tense.
time,
Past
not
tense,
now,
for sure.
because everyone's pretty great now.
Yeah.
So we don't hang out with people who are still like that.
Got no ill will.
But yeah, so like all of middle school, I remember that I was trying to always fit in with like the kids that were more, quote unquote popular, more well liked, and I don't know why that was. It was just like an inherent need to just kind of like be friends with everybody, and they were the hardest group to like get a read on and like get into. So that's why I spent most of my effort trying to get in with them. Very exclusive, and it was a waste of time.
Yeah.
But I felt like you said, that being friends and hanging out with the school's collective asshole was like a common thread throughout your entire scholastic career.
Oh yeah.
At the secondary level.
Yeah.
I would say that kind of carried throughout my entire high school career too. But it got to a point where I was able to like still hang out with like everybody, but not sacrifice who I really am as a person.
Yeah. So you were like a. Not, I don't mean this in a degrading way at all. You were like a group drifter. Yeah. Like you were able to kind of mesh with any group of people, throughout the whole thing. I couldn't be in public with anyone. I was.
Oh, especially with Travis.
I was for adult eyes only.
Yeah, yeah. You guys were on the.
We were the equivalent of like a not rated movie.
You guys were on Adult Swim.
Yeah.
Everyone else was on Cartoon Network.
Yeah.
That's really what it was.
Yeah.
Some of them were on Disney Channel, but yeah, it's just really interesting looking back on all those things. I remember. I remember there was one time in middle school. See, because I don't know what to bring up, because there's a lot of things I could say, but they all pertain to like
people that are still around.
Well, not just still around, but just failed relationships from that time that were just really funny.
Well, I mean, we can bring up a general sense,
Okay. Well,
the time that I told someone you wanted their number.
Okay, yes, that's a perfect example. Yes, let's tell that story.
Okay.
So I'll start and then you can finish it.
Okay.
So there was this girl. Her name, we'll just say, is Natasha.
Natasha. Yeah.
And she had a friend named Abigail. And Abigail and me were kind of friends. And me, Travis, and Gavin were hanging out one day, and randomly Abigail comes up to me and is like, "Hey, Natasha thinks you're really cute. She wants your number, or you should ask her for her number." And I was like, "I don't know, man. I'm not really." And Gavin looked at me and was like, "What the fuck are you doing? What do you mean you don't know? It's obvious what you got to do." And I'm just like, I just don't care. Like, I just don't want. Like, I don't.
You had eyes for someone else.
Yeah, I did.
For most of middle. Oh, sorry. Eyes for someone else for most of middle school.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. But still, I was just like, I'm okay. I didn't really think she was that attractive anyways. Yeah. And this guy, Gavin, took it upon himself. After arguing with me for like most of lunch about getting her number, went up to Natasha himself and was like, "Hey, so my friend's really scared to come up to you and ask you for your number, so I'm just asking you myself." And she gave it to him. And not only did she give it to him, but this guy Gavin started dating her like a week later.
The great part is I never gave you her number.
No, he never gave it to me.
I just texted her after school.
Yeah, he just texted her. But I knew that he went up to her and was like, "Hey, so he's like really shy and stuff."
Yeah.
You fuck boy.
Yeah.
You're a fuck boy.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure I came clean to her though. I was like, "Honestly, I like you. So, like, I just wanted your number. Like, I think I
You
came
said
clean.
that?
I think I came clean.
That's funny.
I'm pretty sure I did. I mean, I could be totally wrong.
I don't even know.
I was a little asshole, so I don't know. But, yeah, that one to me, I was just telling that story the other day, actually.
Really?
To me, it's funny.
No, that's a really funny story.
Like,
I find it hilarious.
Just because it's like, it's like the ultimate dick move. But, like, just because of the way things played out, it's okay. You know? Like,
yeah, exactly.
Like, if I did that now, it'd be super fucked up.
Yeah,
but
it'd
like,
be different.
Just because of the context of the time.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, man, fucking whatever.
Yeah, it's middle school. Who cares?
I mean.
Yeah, but that's a super funny story just because it's like, oh, cool, you're going to use me to get a girl's number.
Yeah. Dude.
Who liked me first. But,
let the record show. But then we find out. This was like an Illuminati, like this was a 3-tiered scheme.
This was a conspiracy.
Because she didn't actually like either of us the entire time. She was trying to get at T-Dog, you know?
She was trying to get at Travis.
Yeah. Yeah,
she liked Travis
the
whole time.
So funny because
didn't make any sense.
Yeah, it was so funny is that they started dating towards the end of middle school or
before
summer,
right before high school.
Yeah, the summer of middle school.
Yeah.
And so I went to my dad's. I would go to my dad's every, like, summer. I'd spend most of the summer there. So I would be, like, just completely out of the loop. I wouldn't really talk to anyone, really. I think Marco and I would talk on the phone every now and again, but really I was just kind of doing my own thing.
Yeah.
It sucked.
Yeah.
But, so I texted Travis towards the end of summer. I was like, so how's it going with Natasha, man? He goes, dude, she was a fucking annoying, so I broke up with her. It was so great, dude.
Yeah. No, there's a lot. I mean, there's so many stories. I'm trying to think of that summer specifically. Oh, all the Uvu. Remember Uvu?
Oh, let's not get into specifics.
Well, just the specific, like just Uvu itself, just that whole time.
Yeah.
Before high school, like
Uvu was like cheap, horrible Skype that didn't really work, and I'm pretty sure it caused my computer to crash. Like.
And it's just crazy, like the music that was like popular at the time, or at least we listened to, because that's the thing that we haven't talked about is just the music. How we both have come to this point of musical discovery and just discovery of ourselves. And we'll get to music in a second, but there was a specific type of discovery that I want to talk about that happened our freshman year of high school, and this was a catalyst. The catalyst for this discovery of who we were kind of as people, I'm making it out to sound like we're going to be like, we're gay, but we're not fucking gay. Was just like, I was forced to go to a Catholic school thing, like, every Sunday.
Yeah.
And I hated it just because I didn't like to get up early. I already have to go to school.
Yeah.
For 5 days out of the week.
Yeah.
And then I only have one day, a Saturday, to sleep in. That's it. And then I have to get up early on Sunday.
Yeah.
Have to stay there till like 1 every Sunday.
Yeah.
It was annoying. I hated it. And then from that angst, I started really thinking about religion and just thinking like, how does this make any sense?
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense to me. Now my views are a little different. I feel like now that I don't know what is out there. So who am I to say what's right, what's the truth, what's not? But at the time, I felt like, there's no way that there's a God. There's no way that these things can be real.
Yeah.
There's no way that who is the person who validated that the Bible was written?
Yeah.
Back.
There's no like a notary stamp.
Yeah, exactly. Who fucking knows all that stuff? Like no one knows. So
Pontius Pilate, notary public of Rome.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
fucking it didn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, hearing the term atheist a lot, and I started looking into it for myself, and I found a YouTuber by the name of The Amazing Atheist, also known as TJ Kirk now.
Yep.
And his one video about this one like Jesus rap, and he like criticized it and picked it apart in this one video, and that one video changed my life.
Yeah.
And after that point, I remember the next day, me and Gavin had the same like computer class. We were in this like photography, digital graphic arts academy in high school. And I remember walking out of that class with him because we had the same class. And I was like, hey, by the way, dude, I just got to tell you, like, I think I'm atheist.
So that to me was, that moment was a culmination of a lot of things, because like, so not to get into too much, well, this is going to be a little bit detailed. So 8th grade, I think it was like November of 8th grade year, my grandfather on my dad's side passed away, and I was very close with him. He was like he was one of those dudes that just was he was always positive, always happy. And he kind of encouraged me to chase my dreams. I did acting for a little bit, actually, during that time, because he inspired me to. Because he was actually like in movies with John Wayne and stuff. Knew him personally. And he actually gave up that dream to like raise a family and all that. And so he was just a good guy. And, you know, he never smoked, never drank, or anything like that. He was like super Mormon. And he still got esophageal cancer and died.
Oh.
So that year... I went through that, went to his funeral, and at his funeral, my family, they had all the grandkids get up and sing Amazing Grace. And it was like, it just sickened me.
Yeah.
And I just kind of realized, like, the whole facade of what I'd been taught growing up just kind of all collapsed around me, because I just kind of realized, like, none of this makes sense, and you guys are all pretending to be happy even though you're not about this situation. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah.
What kind of a delusion are you in?
Yeah.
You know, and so that happened, and I was just kind of stewing on the religion thing. At that point, like, I'd say 8th grade, I kind of stopped talking about the Christian thing. I used to talk about it all the time. Like, you got to remember, 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade, I was like I was an asshole about it.
Yeah.
So 8th grade, I kind of stopped talking about it as much, because it was just, I was just not there anymore.
Yeah.
And I had heard the term atheist before, because my dad, you know, he talks about that stuff. Mm-hmm. He's really Catholic. Uh-huh. And he just told me, he tried to convince me that there's like proof of God. There was an atheist who became religious. Yeah. So I had heard the term, I knew what it meant, but I had never connected the dots. Right. So I was going through some stuff at that point in time, you know, I was a little punk freshman year, and then when you said that to me, it just, like, all the dots came together, and I was like, holy shit, I am too. Like, dude, that's what I've been thinking this whole time. That's crazy. And, like, I mean, I still am, but the way that I always put it to people is I'm an atheist, but I'm not an asshole about it. You know, I'm not, like, one of those dudes who are like, there is no God. Yeah. Your religion is meaningless. Yeah. Like, because like that to me is just...
Not to say that we weren't like that at one point.
Oh, my God. I was like that till I was 19.
Yeah,
but like, it
I was too.
It, just connected all these things for me. And then, at the same time, all the music came together and all that, like all the emo music and stuff.
Yeah.
It just...
and then you started getting into what's Marilyn Manson.
Marilyn Manson.
Towards that time, yeah.
I still love me some Marilyn Manson.
Oh, of course.
Not my favorite anymore, just because, like, you know, I'm not angry anymore.
Yeah.
I don't have, like, because at that, like I said, for that couple of years, like, from freshman year through, like, junior year, I just had so much going on, you know.
Right.
And I just had so much to be angry about.
Right.
And it carried into college, you know, until I was, I'd say 20. Till I was 20, I felt that.
Yeah.
And so, like, in the last year or two, it's really been transformative for me. But
right.
Yeah, man. And then we discovered dubstep.
Oh, yeah, we could talk about dubstep.
We were early adopters of
We were
dubstep.
very early adopters of dubstep. It's very interesting, not to say that we're trendsetters, because there was no fucking way that we were.
No.
But we
didn't have the pull.
I would say that we adopted trends early.
Yeah.
We didn't set them.
Yeah.
But we adopted them pretty early. So, like, when Skrillex, Sonny Moore, dropped his self-titled EP on MySpace, I remember not listening to it, but just seeing it around on, like, YouTube, because of, like, that time where back in the day, me and Gavin would watch, like, YouTube videos
all day.
Play
Grand Theft Auto. Watch
YouTube. play Grand Theft Auto. Watch YouTube videos. Eat pizza.
Yeah.
Just joke around all day. That's all we would do.
Yeah.
But back in the day on YouTube, the the recommendeds, in my opinion, were just way better. Like
Yeah.
the algorithm just worked more, maybe because there were just less people on there. There was less videos.
There was less control over
Less
it.
control.
They weren't trying to manipulate it as much.
Yeah, exactly.
But
So once I started getting into more, not so much, I wouldn't say emo music because I didn't start listening to emo music specifically until my sophomore year of high school.
which is funny as hell to me.
But I know, yeah, look at me now.
Yeah,
but
because like I was deep in that shit for years.
Yeah, exactly.
6th grade, I'd say I started. But anyway, so yeah, then dubstep.
so then, yeah, so like Sonny Moore, Skrillex's first like self-titled EP with like Mora and all that on it.
Yeah.
It dropped in like I think '08.
Mm.
And I remember just like seeing it around, but never listening to it. And then 2 years later, he drops a project under the name Skrillex.
Yeah.
And that EP literally changed the game
Yeah.
of like just dance music in general,
Yeah.
EDM, everything. It just made it.
It blew it up.
It blew it up.
Insanely.
And it was insane. It's just crazy to see, like, not just dubstep, but just like, because during that time, a lot of people listened to dubstep too. Like, that was a weird fad. Like, a lot of the people that listened to like metal and stuff that we knew also listened to dubstep, and like even the popular like
it
kids.
really
and, like,
it really came out of the metal community.
yeah.
That's really where it came. It came from the metal kids, the punk kids, and stuff. You know, because it was a trend. Like when it first came out, you have to understand, it was something that had never been heard before. It was very transgressive.
And it's super underground too.
And the beats were very much based off of heavy metal.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, like it really came out of that group of people. Like especially because Sonny Moore was in From First to Last.
Yeah,
you know?
still love them so much.
Yeah, and so that's where it came from. And actually, the person who introduced me to it was my cousin Nate.
Oh,
Showed
yeah.
me Borgore.
Yeah, Borgore.
The summer of 8th grade.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And like it just really clicked with me. And I remember showing like my dad and my stepmom and my stepsister, and they were like, "This is horrible. What is this?"
Yeah.
And then like a year later, they were all into it.
Yeah, it's so weird. And then there was like artists like Zomboy, which he's still around, I think. There's Mr. P, Dr. P,
Super bad.
yeah. Flux Pavilion was another big one.
Yep. Excision.
Excision.
He's still around.
He's still
for
around.
sure.
Yeah. I listened to a guy named Figure. I don't know if you ever listened to Figure. Figure was insane.
I knew of him.
I loved his stuff.
Because Borgore for me, the dubstep for me was kind of a fleeting phase.
Yeah, me
I'd say
too.
freshman year, I was really into it.
Yeah,
into
me
the
too.
dubstep thing,
Yeah.
and then I basically Nate actually on the same occasion he basically gave me this USB that had hundreds of like what he listened to in high school.
Oh, okay.
Those songs on it.
Yeah.
And this little band called Pierce the Veil.
Oh
was on
my
it.
god.
And end of freshman year, that was pretty much all I was listening to because it just specifically the album Selfish Machines.
Yeah.
That album to me is kind of like a cornerstone in my life.
Yeah. Collide with the Sky wasn't out yet, so it makes sense.
Well, to me, that's still my favorite album by them.
Yeah,
by far. 'Cause
But at the time, Collide with the Sky wasn't out, right?
no, it was
Okay,
not out yet.
okay.
Well, it came out the next year.
Yeah, when I started getting into it.
Yeah, and that album, Selfish Machines, just really like it just hit me on this like soul level. Like Vic Fuentes, like what he was writing, it just everything about it just really connected with me in a way that dubstep kind of was failing to do.
Yeah.
And that the angry death metal, Marilyn Manson, all that stuff really wasn't hitting me like that either anymore.
Yeah.
So that's when I really dove deep into that kind of music.
Yeah.
You know, and then we met other people who were into it.
Who were also into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really interesting just the transformation both of us kind of went on because like it took me longer to get into that type of music. I listened to certain things. Like I listened to like Linkin,
I would
Linkin
force
Park
you
and stuff.
to, you know.
You would force me to get into or you forced me to listen to like you got me into Linkin Park and like I remember listening to A Day to Remember in like 6th grade. Mm-hmm. But I never strictly got into that music and adopted that style.
Yeah.
That to use a popular term, an aesthetic. I didn't adopt that until sophomore year. Yeah. And I guess that's a good We also, before I move on and talk about how I became an emo, I think a great thing to mention is also our love for Tyler, the Creator, early Tyler, the Creator.
Yes.
And how we've discovered him. I honestly forgot how I found him out, But I think I watched a YouTube. I think I watched a.
Probably Anthony Fantano.
You think so? I don't think it was Anthony Fantano.
Well, I don't know. I'm just. That's just
oh,
a
really?
guess. Yeah.
No, I remember watching the music video for Yonkers.
Yonkers, yeah, the cockroach.
Yeah, the cockroach. I think that's what it was. Where like there was like a tabloid being like, "Oh my God, look at this guy eat a cockroach in a music video." Yeah. So I clicked on it, I listened to it, and he started talking about all this like God stuff and Jesus stuff in it.
You're
about
like,
how it's bullshit and all this stuff, and I was like, "Oh my God."
Yeah.
First of all, I'm feeling this way.
Yeah.
I feel like it's bullshit. He's saying it's bullshit. I love this guy. Like he's saying how it is.
It's very like, again, transgressive, just very like against the grain, fighting society.
Yeah, exactly.
And I remember you texted me. You were like, "Dude, I know you don't like rap that much, but you should really check out this guy, Tyler the Creator." And I think the first song you ever sent me was "Sandwiches." I think that's the one you sent me.
Yeah, I think so.
And that song,
because at that time I was more into rap than you.
Yes, and it's actually switched.
It has switched quite a bit. Yeah,
but that song, that was one again that got me because Yonkers too, because of the anger in that song, the angst.
Yeah,
but Sandwiches got me because of that Haji Beats part towards the end, where he's talking about like his parents and like his upbringing and stuff. Because again, at that point in my life, I was really searching for something to be angry at.
Yeah.
And Tyler's music really kind of helped me
channel it.
And that's not to get too like off topic, but like that's one thing with music that I hate when people say like that music causes people to do things. Like back when Black Sabbath, people were killing themselves and Black Sabbath was on and all that.
Yeah.
Like, because for me, all music was like an emotional release at that point. So like if you look at what music I'm listening to at any point in time, it's really a reflection of what's going on inside.
Right.
And it doesn't affect my actions on the outside, but it really helps me filter everything else
that's
happening in life.
Yeah.
And I guess that's a good segue for your emo stuff.
Yeah. And before I enter into that story again, I just want to say, like, for me, music is, I was actually just talking about this with a friend the other day, and she was saying how for her, like, music is something that soothes her and helps her, like, relax, get into a more positive space.
Yeah.
And that's why she doesn't necessarily, like, listen to a lot of sad music.
Yeah.
But for me, I listen to a lot of sad music. Not so much recently, but I used to, just because when I was feeling sad, I wanted to feel that other people knew how I felt.
Other
and
people
that I wasn't alone.
Yeah.
And that's why I listened to a lot of that, because I didn't want to feel by myself.
Yeah.
So it's all about perspective. I mean, but anyways, that does lead into emo. And on the last day of freshman year, me and Gavin made a friend. And I'm just gonna say her name, and she'll be fine with it. I think she'll be fine with it.
Okay, yeah.
You think so?
I mean, you just call her Bass. I don't know. It's up to you.
All right. Well,
it's your podcast.
Yeah, I mean, she'll be fine with it. I'm not gonna say like that one thing.
Okay.
So we made a friend. Her name was Sabian, and she like started hanging out with us from like that summer. We were like the three amigos.
Last day of freshman year through like first half of sophomore year.
Yeah.
I'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that day we met, I remember we were like walking to McDonald's from the high school, because that's just what kids did. Like that's the,
BK Lounge.
You got to go on that trek when you're like a fucking freshman, a sophomore in high school.
You can't
going to
drive.
that specific high school we went to, you have to walk on minimum days to the fast food joints, get food, kick it, and then get picked up and get taken home from that point.
Yeah.
You never just go home. Otherwise, you're a loser.
That's where you can sort and figure out, like, okay, dude, you're going to come over to my place?
Yeah.
You're going over there?
Exactly.
Hey, Travis, you want to come too?
Yeah. So me and Gavin were walking by ourselves to McDonald's, and we're walking by, and we see this kid named, Mark. And he was with this girl, and he was talking to some other kids we knew. And we walk up, like, hey, Mark, what's up? What's going on? And, like, he was like, nothing much, just figuring out what we're going to do. And then all of a sudden, these two other guys come up with, not pepper spray, fucking silly string. And they start spraying everybody. Because you can buy that shit at the dollar store, which is right next to McDonald's.
Yeah.
we start running because we don't want to get sprayed by it, and we didn't like those guys anyway. So we start running away, and we turn around. The girl that Mark was with started running after us. Was with us, and we're like, "Oh shit, okay." And that was Sabian.
Yeah.
So from that point, we started talking. We were all friends.
Yeah.
And she got me into Sleeping with Sirens was a big one.
Yeah.
Pierce the Veil came out with a song with Kellen Quinn, who is the lead singer of Sleeping with Sirens.
Yeah.
That next month they released King for a Day.
Yeah.
And it was like life-changing for me just because I was like, wow, I love this guy's voice, first of all. Second, he dresses in a way that like I think is really cool. I never thought to dress that way. I always liked having long hair, but that like it made me feel like, okay, I'm not just like a weirdo with like long hair by myself. Like it's kind of cool. Like there's a scene of people
that do that
and like that same type of stuff, and like it's not weird in that area, that group. Yeah. So I started listening to a lot of that because of her kind of pushing me to be like, hey, dude, you don't have to dress a certain way to like fit in with people. Yeah. You don't have to like be yourself, have fun.
It was always unsaid with her. That kind of stuff is. I don't know about you. But for me personally, it was unspoken, like an unspoken acceptance, and it's like, okay.
For me though, she straight up told me that. Like she told me, she's like, dude, you don't have to. Because I told her, I'm like, I don't feel comfortable at school anymore. Like, I feel like no one likes me, everyone hates me.
Yeah.
And I don't. I feel like a poser, and she's like, that's because you kind of are.
Yeah.
You're not being yourself, so be your fucking self and like dress how you want to. And I remember that next month, my older brother who was in town took me to Hot Topic, and I bought my first like 5 band shirts. And
it's a good moment.
It was fucking crazy. It was such a great moment.
Yeah.
And it's not the same anymore.
No.
But it was still. I mean, it was kind of changing into that mode at the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, it was really crazy. And then ever since then, I've just been listening to like emo music, and there's just been such a different slide and tilt in emo stuff because I first started with Pierce the Veil, Sleeping with Sirens, and Mice and Men.
Yeah.
The Day to Remember,
Bring Me
the Horizon, all those Tumblr bands that were really popular on Tumblr at the time.
The RAR bands.
Yeah, the RAR bands.
They're referred to now.
Which it's funny because the original RAR band, Never Shout Never.
Oh.
He was really popular in like middle school, which we didn't even talk about, but those were some crazy times. Anyways, so I started getting into that, and then from that point moved to more pop punk, which it's funny because now I listen to actual like early like 2000s pop punk, totally different from the type of pop punk that I was listening to.
It was because early 2000s pop punk is more close to the stuff that I dig.
It's more bubblegummy.
It's more bubblegummy, but depends on who you're listening to.
What's pop punk that you like from early 2000s?
Let me think.
Like Simple Plan, super bubblegummy.
Yeah. Okay.
Early Fallout Boy.
Right. Early Fallout Boy.
Very bubblegummy.
Well, I guess The Used. They're not.
Yeah.
Super. They were almost screamo. They're like right on the edge.
Yeah.
Some of their songs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but, they pushed it.
They still do.
I mean, there's like what? I mean, there's all the there's a lot of bands like Yellow Card, fucking. There's a lot of bands in the early 2000s that were just super.
Early 2000s was a weird time.
It was a weird time, they would throw like random ska music, and it was just weird. It was weird. But anyways, the pop punk that I listened to was not the same.
Yeah,
it was more aggressive. It was more hardcore inspired. There was like a slight dash of hardcore thrown in to it, so it was like weird. And then from that I went into indie and like more like alt grunge stuff and lo-fi stuff like and then I started experimenting with like a lot of now I'm into like different types of rock music. I listen to black metal and like all this different stuff, so it's just been a long process. But that point, sophomore year, was the point where I like kind of became my own person. I caught a lot of flack for it. I remember like some people thought I was like a bigger poser than before, but it was whatever. Like, who cares? It was a long time ago. But it was just funny. It's funny to look back.
It really is, dude. Like, I don't think that. I mean, you could correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't know if I ever went through a poser type phase with things. I think I was always just weird, like I always kind of did my own thing, and if I ever felt like I was heading into like a cliche, I guess you could call it, I would immediately change course. Like
you never want to be found out. You never wanted.
Yeah, like when I was like 8th grade through like freshman year, I did the super emo dress thing. I'd wear the super skinny jeans.
Yeah, you dyed your hair, right?
I tried to bleach my hair, but it turned out to be strawberry blonde. It was horrible.
It didn't look
But
bad.
like then immediately after people started noticing, I changed. Sophomore year, I was like, no, I'm gonna dress more hipster now. You know?
Yeah.
And like,
yeah,
my life has just been a constant cycle of like, I'm just gonna keep swapping up. You know.
So what cycle are you in now?
The cycle I'm in now is I'm too cheap to buy new clothes.
Oh.
So I'm just going to wear everything I wore in high school until it wears down.
Nice.
You know?
Yeah.
Because, like, what I've realized is as long as what you're wearing kind of matches and you look all right, you're good.
Yeah.
You know? I'm not trying to go for any specific style.
Yeah. So, let's see. Where are we at? Okay, we have like 15 more minutes.
Okay.
So with that time, we got to sophomore year. So after that point, for both of us, things changed rather dramatically.
Oh.
We could there's some stories we could talk about. Let me, give me 1 second. So we had not professor in high school, they're called teachers. We had a teacher our sophomore year called Senor Giordano, Gavin's favorite teacher.
I love Senor Giordano. He and I had the greatest love-hate relationship I think I've ever had with a teacher in my life.
Right.
I feel like he hated me. Like
Yeah.
he acted like he hated me, but I think deep down he liked me.
Yeah.
You know, but
Yeah.
that's because I was a little punk in his class. Because I would do really well on the tests, but I would do none of the homework.
Right.
So it would irritate the shit out of him.
Yeah.
Or like I'd show up late and stuff, and like
Yeah.
it was like, and you would do that thing when you get the test grades back. For A's, you'd go una
Yeah.
and then you'd say our name, and my name in the class was Esteban, and you sat next to me, and I remember it was the first test, and it was so fucking funny because
Bullshit.
you were Marcos and I was Esteban,
Yeah.
and he goes una Esteban, then he puts it on my desk and he goes, y Marcos, and he hands you yours, and then he keeps going una
Dude, I got a B. I got a low B too. It made no sense. It made no sense. Dude, for everyone out there that doesn't know, my first language was Spanish too. So I was like, dude, how the fuck? How? It just doesn't make any sense.
It's so fucking
It was
funny.
hilarious.
And like that dude, like he busted me so many times. He pulled me aside with some other kid to like talk about our homework.
Oh, right.
And like he only did it in Spanish. He wouldn't do it in English. So like, and I didn't speak enough to know really what he was saying. He was just like, Esteban, ¿dónde está sus tarjetas de flash? And I'm just like,
And you're like, yo, no, see.
no tango. Oh, freaking, no madingas.
No madingas.
No madingas. That's what he said.
Yeah. So there was this guy in our class who was like a super senior.
Mega
Which,
pothead.
for everyone that doesn't know what a super senior is, that's when you're like 5 years into high school. And so he was like in it, and he was in Spanish 1 with us, and he was like, Senor Giordano looks at him and is like, what's his name? Like Jose?
I think it was Jose.
It's like, Jose, ¿cómo se dice no me digas? Like literally he just asked him to repeat the word. And it's like, no medengas. No medengas. And it's hilarious because like I do the accent and he wasn't like a white redneck dude.
But he was, though, in his spirit.
In his spirit he was, but he was like an Indian. Like he was like Fijian. He was like a Fijian dude.
And dude, another aside, but did you ever see his truck?
Oh, with the Confederate flag.
Dude had a big ass Confederate flag.
Yeah.
I was like, what? This doesn't make any sense.
Dude, the classes above us were wild.
They were weird.
Looking
dude.
back, they were wild.
Fucking weird.
They were wild.
I thought we were weird, but you know, you look back and you're like, man, they were goofs.
They were super big.
One
dudes.
of them OD'd on coke junior year.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, sus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, Yeah, dude. That class was so friggin' fun. And there was one time, I may or may not have imbibed some alcohol before Senior Giordano's
Oh, I
class.
remember this entire thing.
And
I might have, I might have not had to be there with you.
Yeah.
I was supposed to partake with you.
Yeah, and so it was supposed to be you, me, and some other dude. And nobody showed up, so I just drank all of it. So I show up to that class, and Senior Giordano's like mid-lecture. Yeah. And he stops, and it's silent, and I'm just kind of staring off into the distance, you know? And then he kind of like, I don't know, I can't explain this, but he like leaned over to match the way that my head was tilted. And he was like, Esteban. And he looked me dead in the eyes, and I was like, see you, Senor Giordano. and then he just continued, and he never found out. And then like the next week, some kid like ate a bunch of Jello shots and then barfed in his lap.
Oh, that's what happened.
Yeah, that was like the next week.
I know, but that was Jello shots. I didn't know it was Jello.
Yeah,
shots.
it was Jello shots. His girlfriend like forced him to.
Oh my god, yeah. I didn't know that. That sucks.
Yeah, dude,
that's rough.
He was Dr. Seuss, man.
That's super Seuss.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I guess we could just breeze over junior and senior because those years, they weren't as formative,
dude.
For both of us, I don't think. Are they? I don't know.
All I can say about junior and senior year was, number one, my hairstyle, and number two, those fucking hoop earrings.
You had hoop earrings?
I had hoop earrings.
Oh, yeah, you did.
With the balls on that. That's on my driver's license forever, dude.
Take another picture.
Well, this year I'm going to, but for fucking like 5 years, it's been on my ID. And now, like, every time I show someone, because you gotta, guys, I'm not exaggerating. I was, back when that ID photo was taken, I was almost 60 pounds heavier than I am now. 60?
I thought it was 40. That's crazy.
No, dude, it was a lot.
That's wild.
I lied, by the way, of my weight on the ID.
Oh.
But, I was like 60 pounds heavier. I was just blanketed in acne because I just didn't really take care of myself. Right. Had a horrible, like, you know, I don't mean to be offensive, but it was like a lesbian gym teacher haircut. You know, like just like the spiked hair. It was kind of like a mix between like, kind of like the guy from Linkin Park, but I didn't pull it off as well. Like like how Chester had the spikes. That's what I was trying to do.
Yeah. And
then the hoop earrings, and that's my ID photo. For like the last 5 years, because of my decisions, and that just tells you that junior and senior year I was not in the right state of mind, you know.
Jesus Christ. Well, if it makes you feel any better, junior year I wore a hat backwards like every day, and I had the worst tan line on my forehead, and that is why I grew my hair out even longer.
And you already have a birthmark there too.
I already have a birthmark, so like it's like. I have a birthmark on my forehead going vertically, and then I have a fucking tan line horizontally. So I have a fucking X.
You had like it's funny because I'm like the color of cream cheese.
Yeah.
You had that on your forehead.
Yeah, I
in
did.
like one spot.
One spot
for like 2 years.
For like it was the worst. It was so bad, and it was like a hole. It was like a horrible like hole to go down because it's like, man, if you don't want it to be shown, wear a hat.
Yeah.
But guess what? If you wear hats all the time, it gets worse.
It's a catch-22.
Yeah. So now, but what I had to do is just not go out in the sun for like a year and a half, and then it
fixed the problem.
Yeah, my skin just became translucent and matched the untanned part, and then now I'm back to normal, which is nice.
Yep.
But yeah, it's just funny that whole time, you know. And we were also in a graphic design academy, like I mentioned earlier, for all of high school.
Yeah.
I got more into it than Gavin did, but there's a lot of funny stories with that, like early on, going back to like freshman year.
We almost got like, we were threatened to be expelled.
Yeah. We were threatened to be expelled because we photoshopped some kid's face onto Master Chief from the Halo series. And he
loved it.
He loved it.
Was hilarious.
He thought it was hilarious. He wasn't even mad about it. Like, he didn't think it was us bullying him because we weren't trying to bully him. We were trying to just have fun.
Yeah.
Like, Gavin photoshopped my face on a dude running away from like a nuclear explosion. I photoshopped Gavin's face on something. I think a dude riding a bike or something. Now that I think about it,
something goofy. Yeah.
Something really funny. we photoshopped
We
this
did
one
that
kid.
to everyone.
Yeah, it was hilarious. But then when it came to that one kid, it was actually the same kid. What was his name? That
Craig.
We said? Craig.
It was Craig.
It was actually Craig again. Fucking Craig.
Yeah.
But yeah, he almost got us expelled. We were pretty bad kids in that class, honestly, looking back.
Dude, I was a pretty bad kid for like the first 2 years of high school, man. I was a nightmare.
Yeah. Well, we're almost out of time, but since the formative years have passed us, where are you now? What have you been up to, Gavin? That's what people have been wanting to know.
I know.
People have been wanting to know for the past 4 years. Where have you been? What have you been doing?
Why did you drop off the face of the earth?
Who are you?
And why are you coming back now, just like out of the blue?
Yeah, yeah.
So basically,
Fucking Captain Marvel over here.
For real, dude. Just gonna bust through that ship, you know. But basically, what happened was after high school, like towards the end of high school, I realized that I needed a change. You know, I didn't know exactly what that was. Didn't know what direction I wanted to go in or any of that. So I decided to. My dad extended an offer to kind of help pay for school if I moved down with him in SoCal. And so I took advantage of that, moved down there. Very clumsily stumbled into my career path. I work at a financial institution now, and gonna be graduating next September and all that. And I don't know from there, but I've just been doing that. Really didn't. Kind of sucks down there, to be honest with you.
How does it suck?
Because it's hard to meet people down there because everybody kind of has their own thing going on. And I guess it'd be the same here, but here I at least have like the connections. Like I know some people to start, but like down there it's just not the same kind of people, not the same vibe. Everyone's more, like I said, just in their own world, doing their own thing. So it's kind of hard to make those connections with people. But you know, I kind of as much as, you know, there's a big part of me that kind of regrets making that move, to be honest with you, because, you know, I miss my hometown, I miss my family, my friends, and all that. Yeah. But I think that it has allowed me to kind of really discover what I want out of life and move forward. And I just don't think that... I think you have to make moves like that in life to really figure out what you want to do. Right. So as much as it sucks, I do think it was the right move, and I think that now I'm kind of at a point in life where I can kind of do whatever I want now. I can start heading in that direction because all I had to do was start moving. Yeah. And now I'm to the point where I'm just ready to kind of spread my wings.
Oh shit!
But
this man, the butterfly.
Oh yeah.
Gavin the butterfly.
Oh yeah.
That's awesome. Well, I'm glad that you were able to come on to this podcast and reminisce a little bit. You definitely will be back on next time you come up or I go down there.
Hell yeah, man.
And visit you. But yeah, is there anything else you want to say to the beautiful people out there before we conclude?
I love all of you, and just like stay cool, dude. Don't be sus.
Oh my
Try
God.
hard, believe in yourself. Follow that John Cena path. You know, always win. Check out. Oh wait, what do you want? What do I want you to check out? Tyler the Creator's new album. How about that?
Oh, Igor.
Yeah, Igor's is a good album. Decent listen. If you're going through some like relationship, emotional stuff right now, it's a great listen. Makes you like the first couple songs make you feel horrible. And then the middle makes you feel like a little bit better. Yeah. And then by the end of it, you feel like you just went through the whole 9 yards. Wow. And you're good to go.
That's crazy.
You're like revitalized, you know?
That's awesome.
But yeah, that's all I got to say though.
Awesome. Well, thank you again for coming on. And you'll be on soon, hopefully before you turn 22, maybe.
Probably.
Hopefully before September. That'd be nice.
September. We could do an aftershock, like a.
Oh yeah, we are going to aftershock. We could
do like
in
a
October.
Rundown.
Yeah, I guess I'll see you in October then.
Yeah.
We'll hear from you then. Hopefully, you stay. You know, fucking sprouting. What is it? Flying like a butterfly.
Hell yeah, man! Gonna be doing that. Going to Iceland.
Oh, floating like a butterfly.
Hell, stinging like a bee. Yeah.
Have fun in Iceland. All right, guys. We will talk to you on the next podcast when we have the amazing, lovely, hilarious duo of Carlitos Salamanca and Jacob Phillips.
Dude, my boy Jake. Jay Philly.
We'll have him on to talk about friendship. We already talked about that in this podcast. We didn't talk about how to like maintain a friendship, how to like be friends. So with that, we're going to talk to them about that next week, and it's going to be a great time. Stay tuned for that. Make sure to subscribe on Spotify, Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts, and we will catch you on the next one. Take care now. Bye.